Hi there. My name is Lynda West, and I'm going through a rebranding right now. What the heck does that even mean, and why am I doing it? Well, first of all, I was in the corporate field for 36 years. In that 36 years, I've had 49 jobs. And I got to the end of my time working in corporate, and I was like, I don't like what I'm doing. I want to do something different. So I made the leap from corporate December 4th of 2014. And I made that leap of faith that we hear about so often, right? Oh, they jumped without a net. Well, that was me. I was one of those. I had no idea what I was going to do, where I was going to do it, how I was going to do it. But I did know one thing, that I loved helping people. I became known as like Mighty Mouse in the office because I was always the person that was there to save the day. Here I come to save the day. That was me, totally. I was the Mighty Mouse. And I just loved helping people. And I knew that. I knew that one thing. So I left my corporate job and I set out on this quest to find out, who am I? What am I doing? What is my purpose here on earth? And I started down that quest. Now, during that time, though, I had hired a life coach. Her name is Liz, absolutely amazing life coach. I hated her every single week because she asked me the toughest questions and really got down to the meat of who is Lynda. It was really an incredible experience that I look back at it. At the time, I wasn't too cool. I wasn't too thrilled with it, but I knew it was something I needed to do, because I didn't know who I was, and I didn't know I was here, and I didn't know how to figure that out. But I knew somebody else could help me, and that was Liz. She did that with me. So absolutely incredible journey. So the last 4 years, and that was December 4th of 2014, when I finally, left my corporate job, and I was like, I jump without a net. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm going to build the plane while I'm going down. Hopefully I can get it built before it lands. That was my whole thing. Hold on a second here. The microphone fell. Sorry about that. Okay, so hopefully I can get it all figured out before it lands. Well, in the meantime, it's been 4 years. Here it is, what is today? December 13th of 2018. And the journey after 4 years is finally coming to an end. Now, have you ever heard the story about the Chinese bamboo tree? The question that you have for the Chinese bamboo tree is, did it take 5 years to grow, or did it take 5 weeks to grow? The reason for that is because there was a gentleman. He knew about some people who had Chinese bamboo tree crops, and so he asked them about the Chinese bamboo tree, and they told him that the Chinese bamboo tree grows really fast. So he went and he bought some seeds and he planted them in the ground. And in the meantime, he planted some other seeds as well, some other types of crops as well. And so the Chinese bamboo tree, here's how it works. You need to water it every single day. And you water it every single day. So after a year of watering the Chinese bamboo tree and nothing popping up, his neighbors were starting to get a little bit like, what's wrong with that guy? He's crazy. He keeps on watering nothing. It's just watering dirt. In the meantime, the corn was growing, the potatoes were growing. Oh, well, potatoes are in the ground. But all these different types of vegetables and fruits were growing, but the Chinese bamboo tree was not growing. And so after 2 years, same thing, 3 years, 4 years, after about 4 years of doing this every single day, and being made fun of every single day by his neighbors, fellow farmers, he started to have his own doubts. But then he kept being reminded that it takes a long time to grow a bamboo tree, a Chinese bamboo tree. So he kept watering. And then it was the 5th year. And something a little bit just like made its way through the ground, just a little bit. And then within 5 weeks, that bamboo tree shot so high, it was 80 feet high in 5 weeks. So the question is, did it take 5 years, or did it take 5 weeks? Or did it take 5 years and 5 weeks, right? So I feel like I am that Chinese bamboo tree. This last 4 years, I've had a lot of ups and downs. I've lost a lot of money, or spent a lot of money, educated myself with a lot of money, thrown a lot of money away. There's been, whatever words I want to use at the time, a lot of money has gone out with not a whole lot coming back in, because I've been going through this journey of figuring out, who am I? What's my purpose here? Why am I here? The big question of, why am I here? We so often have that question that we ask ourselves. So I've gone through this journey trying to figure that out myself. So it's taken me 4 years, and I'm finally here where I know what my purpose is. I know what my purpose is. My purpose is to help women to be seen and be heard, to share their voice with the world, because so many of us have been stifled for years. Now, I myself, I grew up in a very abusive alcoholic household. My dad was it was very volatile. My dad was a beater, and he was just condescending, and the condescension lasted all the way until his very last breath. But the beating stopped earlier on, thank goodness. But I grew up in that household, and what ended up happening is because of that household, it was so scary, so volatile. I grew up with so many fears, so many fears. I didn't want to speak out loud because if I spoke out loud, mom might be beat for it. Fortunately, dad never hit me. I don't know about my siblings. There are 5 of us, but he never hit me. But then came guilt, because the guilt of if I do this, mom takes the consequences, or mom took the consequences, I must have done something wrong. I always had this guilty feeling, like I was the reason why she was being beat. I always had that feeling. What was interesting is after dad passed away, the siblings, we all got together and we were talking and found out that all of us had the same exact feelings. We all had this tremendous guilt that we carried around for decades. Well, unfortunately, I married somebody just like my dad, somebody who also was somebody who was abusive. He was mostly verbally abusive. He hit me once, and I told him, I said, if you hit me again, I'm out of here, which looking back, I'm like, why would I even wait for that, But I did. That was just the situation. Oftentimes when we're in abusive situations, we stick around because we really believe that they are going to change, because they tell us they're going to change, and we believe it. Unfortunately, he didn't change. But, sorry, after 2 years of being with my first husband, every single day on a daily basis, I heard the same phrases every day, over and over and over again. And that is, you're so stupid. You're so ignorant. People are only nice to you because they feel sorry for you. That was the tone. Those were the words. And I remember them so vividly to this day. And it's been, gosh, how many years? I don't even know. 34 years later, I still know those words. And I still can remember the spit and the fire coming out of his mouth. So after 2 years of hearing that on a daily basis, I started to believe it. I shouldn't say I started to believe it. I did believe it. I believed that I was stupid. I believed that I was ignorant. And I believed that people were only nice to me because they felt sorry for me. Well, what happened was I had the last straw. I was tired of hearing that. And I realized that I was living my mom's life, and I didn't want to live that life anymore. So I took a stand for myself. And I raised my hand. I picked up my 4-week-old child and put her in the little carrying case, the little baby carrying case. Took my 14-month-old child. I put him on my hip. I had a diaper bag and I had a purse over either shoulder. And I walked out of that house with that kid on my hip and that kid in that carrying case, and literally walked. I didn't have a car. We had one car, and I was like, I'd rather just let him keep the car than have any ties to him. And I literally walked out. I had no idea where I was going, no idea what I was going to do. But I knew what I wasn't going to do anymore. I wasn't going to put up with that. I wasn't going to live that life. I made that decision in that moment, and I never went back. So here's what happened, though. Because of those 2 years of that deep-rooted, those words telling me how stupid and ignorant I was, because of the first 19 years of my life with my dad, beating my mom, telling us kids are better seen than heard, we can't sing, we can't talk when dad's home, I was stifled. My voice was stifled. Even though I took the action to leave, which was a very brave action, which actually was due to fear. I was fearful of what would happen if I stayed. It was more scary than leaving. But so what happened is, for all those years, I believed I was stupid and ignorant, and people were only nice to me because they felt sorry for me. And I didn't want to speak out loud. Till I hired my life coach. I was 51 years old. You are never too old to start. I was 51 years old when I started my life. Now, I must add one caveat here, is I've been happily married for 30 years. I love my husband. He's so amazing. And he's always telling me how incredible I am and how smart I am. But it didn't matter when he said it. Because what mattered is that I still didn't believe it. Because I still believed I was stupid. I still believed I was ignorant. And I still believed people were only nice to me because they felt sorry for me. So no matter how often he told me how amazing I was, it didn't matter until I believed it. And that belief started when I was 51, hiring that life coach, Liz. Absolutely amazing. So the journey that I've been on this last 4 years has been incredible. The very first thing I did, I want to share this with you because if you're in that position where I was, where you're like, you have all these doubts about yourself and you want to make a change in your life and you're not sure really what to do, I want to share with you one of the very first things I did, and that was to remove the word obligation from my life. Woo, that was a big one. Oh, it was huge. It was so huge. I said, I have stricken the word obligation from my life. And it really helped to change my life. It really helped to change me, and it got me on that path. Because what would happen is for Christmas time, when we were all getting together for Christmas, I decided I don't want to exchange gifts. I'm tired of exchanging gifts. When we get gifts for each other, we don't even know what they want or what they like. And so I'm just getting them something that I think that they might like. And the next thing I know, I see it and it's in the trash, or I see it and they've gifted it to someone else. That's not for me. So I decided I was going to remove obligation. If somebody was inviting me to a party and I didn't want to go, I said no. Instead of saying yes like I used to do. I was a people pleaser for decades because if I didn't please people, somebody might get hurt. That was in my mind. So, oh gosh, I'm so excited about this because this is leading to what's happening to me now. The life that I'm living now is so much different than it was 4 years ago, simply 4 years ago. Fortunately, my husband is still here with me and he's along this journey with me. He's not changing, but he sees that I'm changing. And is it hard on him? Yes, it is. But you know what? He's still with me and he still knows that what I'm doing is right for me. And I really love him and I feel so blessed to have him. And I know how much of a blessing it is to have somebody who's that supportive. So I want to share with you is during this last 4 years of discovering who I am, boy, have I screwed things up. I spent the last 4 years doing this and then that and then this and then that. And now when I ask people, do you know what I do? Most of them say no. Because I have had so many different things I've done that it's confused who I am and what I do. So now I'm like, okay, now I know what it is. I help women be seen and be heard. I get them on stages. I get them on podcast interviews. I get them on video interviews. I get them on TV. So basically like a PR firm, right? These are the things that I do. And then I have this branding firm and this marketing firm that we've partnered together to be able to provide this whole package where we brand you, we market you, and we get you into those areas that you want to be. Maybe you want to write your own book. Maybe you want to be in a collaborative book. I lead collaborative books. I have all these different ways that I have to share your voice. So now the journey begins of branding myself. If you don't brand yourself, everybody else will brand you, whatever they think you are. So when I go out there and I ask people what it is I do, those who answer, they're all different. Everybody's answers are different. And I want to put a stop to that. And I'm going to be going through this branding process. I'm excited to have you here. I want to thank you so much for tuning in and listening to what I have to share, because this is going to be an amazing journey. And I'm glad you're going to be part of it, because we're going to show you the things that we're working on. We're going to show you the questions that they're asking me. I'm going to show you the process where, excuse me, I just had something to drink, a Coca-Cola, not wine or anything, a beer. I should have wine, or I should have some wine. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to show you the path that I'm taking. It's going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for the next episode, the next whatever, the next session where I show you the materials that I got from them and I show you the questions that they asked me, where you break out your pen and paper, break out your Google Docs or whatever, and you go through it and you answer the questions, okay? See you soon. Bye-bye.